So, Rosie, what's going on with you? You seem kind of upset today. What's happening?
I'm not upset. I just got back from vacation, and it's a little early for me, and I gotta get to the gym. My trainer's been telling me I need to lose some lbs, and so I've been working on that a little bit.
Yeah, you seem a little frustrated.
I'm annoyed, and my roommate's a little twink, and it's so annoying.
Why is he annoying?
Just 'cause he's really skinny and he's always poking at my belly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's got a problem with your belly?
Apparently.
I don't have a problem. Us older Italian men, we like the ladies that got a little extra on them.
Well, these little twinks in their six packs, and they think that I got a keg going on there, and I don't like it.
It's terrible. By the way, what are LBs? I don't know what that is.
That's a pound.
Oh, okay, because I used to know an LB back in Jersey a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
He was a real troublemaker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got back from a wedding. I went out of town for that. I had to go to my hometown, back east. And, it was nice to see some friends and everything. But, I mean, it's nice to be back home, too, I like the lights. I like the action, all the things going on around here. And,
What is it that you miss about that place instead of Vegas? What do you like? What do you like?
Oh,
over
my
there?
hometown?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's not a desert there. So, for one thing, I mean, that's one of the things I really love about it is it's not brown. It's green. There's a lot of grass. There's trees. People got acres of land. It's very, it's special. And everybody there is so nice. People are friendly. I mean, not even just like nice, but like thoughtful. Out here, it's like you're either in somebody's way or you're invisible. Nobody even cares about anybody here.
That's true. It's very transient here.
Nobody says hello.
That's
Nobody,
true. Life is just not that valuable here anymore.
I lived in the same
Yeah.
house for like 3 years, right, when I first moved here.
Yeah.
Don't know none of my neighbors. Nobody said, how are you? Nothing.
You know what, though? To be fair, in a lot of America, that's what it's becoming now. It's kind of turning into that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's true or not, because I can tell you back east it ain't like that at all. People will talk to you, they say hello, they make small talk, you're getting some groceries. The cashier will ask you, oh yeah, what do you like this kind or whatever. They talk to you like you're an actual person. Out here it's not like that, It's just very different out here. So I definitely miss that, It was good to see my folks too.
And you don't mind that, they're joshing you all the time about your failed career and all that stuff?
Nobody cares about that shit.
They don't care?
No, they don't care.
Nobody
about that
talks
shit.
about Rosie goes downtown?
Nobody talks about it. Nobody was.
Yeah.
I mean, a few people made it to the show. They loved it. It's no big deal. That was a few years ago. Nobody cares.
Yeah, well, they only made it because you were handing out those free tickets. There's a lot of empty seats there in that show.
You know what? Nobody likes you, Gary. I don't know if anybody's told you that recently, but in case nobody's told you, just for your information, nobody likes you.
You know what? I get that a lot and I'm used to it.
I mean, you're either annoying or invisible. You're not invisible with that gravelly voice of yours,
That's
but you're
true.
definitely annoying.
I got this voice in an old copper mining accident that I had about 28 years ago.
A what mining accident?
Copper mining. I went to the Appalachian to get some side work because I couldn't get it in Staten Island anymore.
Yeah.
I had to go down there for some copper mining. It's a long story.
Oh, copper.
Copper.
I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I was
Copper
like,
mining.
What's copper? I never heard of copper. Yeah.
Copper. They use it in everything,
Yeah, I see. Well, that's interesting.
Now, your assistant recently told me that you're kind of missing Thailand, though. You spent a lot of time there last year and everything. How would you tell Americans the difference between Thailand and like your home and your friends and like Vegas? Like, how would you compare Thailand to the American experience?
Oh, really? Who cares? I mean, if you want to go to Thailand, go to Thailand. They got beautiful beaches, nice people. If you're a dirty old white man, you can find yourself a super young Thai girlfriend. There's a lot of reasons to go.
You meant, okay, like dirty, mental dirty, not physically dirty like a hobo like me. Not
Probably
like
either
that.
or. You could still find yourself a hot young Thai girlfriend, you know?
Yeah.
All they care about is the size of your wallet. So it doesn't really matter.
Well,
But
let me ask you something though, because you just brought up something interesting. Why is it considered dirties by the American ladies here?
when you're like 75 and you find yourself a 19-year-old Thai chick,
Yeah.
that is gross to me.
What's the
Okay?
problem with that?
I
Explain
think
why.
it's just, I mean, 5.5 generations.
Not
of
that I
difference.
thought about getting with an 18 or 19, but why would you consider it dirty?
I just think it's gross.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's the deal here? You know, she's like prepubescent compared to you. You got one foot in the grave, mother. And you know what? And then you got you're going after these young girls. You got nothing in common. They could barely speak English. What do you think? What do you think?
What if
these
you
old
find
guys
one? What
are
if
doing with these young girls?
what if an older man is by accident he finds an intellectually compatible young girl? It could happen.
Oh, I'm sure, you know, with their
It could.
cultural differences and the
Yeah.
language barrier
Yeah.
and the age and generational differences, I'm sure they just have so much in common.
Well,
you know?
some of those younger girls, they end up going to school to study, like, electromagnetism and engineering and stuff.
I have never heard about that at all.
It's
But you know
true.
what? If you find yourself a Thai bar girl, you know, who basically serves drinks and things under the table, then you think she's going to be some intellectual college graduate? I mean,
Some
what are
of
the
them,
chances?
they did go to college, but they couldn't get a job at CERN or in the physics department in Thailand, so they end up back in the bar.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know?
know about that. That sounds ridiculous to me. But either or, you know, Thailand is a beautiful place. It's got big bugs. You got to worry about that a little bit.
What kind of bugs? Tell the people. What do you got to worry about with the
The
bugs?
giant Asian murder hornet, for one, you know.
What's that? What is that all about?
It's a friggin' hornet that's like this big, about the size of a hummingbird. And if it bites you or stings you a couple of times, it can actually be lethal. They're very
You know,
aggressive.
I don't know anything about that pain. I wish somebody could explain it to me so I could really understand it.
Well, I guess there's
You
some
know?
guy on YouTube and he gets like bit and stung by a bunch of stuff, and then he says how bad it is, and that murder hornet, that's right up there.
Did he do a murder hornet? Did he show the people?
Yeah, he did a murder hornet, and then
Wow.
while I was there was actually this tour guide. He took some Australian couple out in the woods to go look at a waterfall or something like that. And while he was out there, he was turning around, he was talking to the folks. He stepped into a giant Asian murder hornet nest. And he
Wait a minute. Wait, the nest was on the ground?
it
He
was on
stepped
the ground. Yeah.
Oh my God.
These hornets, they're so huge. They probably fall out of a tree if they had a nest in a tree. They're so huge. I
Oh,
can't
and it
even
just
imagine.
they fell on the ground. He stepped on it.
I'm not sure what happened, but he stepped in the nest and they started stinging him. And the couple was standing a little ways ran out of the woods, and they survived. They had a few bites and stings and things, but they survived. They went to the hospital. It was fine. The tour guide did not survive. And those
Why didn't he
bees-
make it? What happened?
He got stung a bunch of times.
Got too many times.
And the poison kills you.
He fell down.
That's why it's called a murder hornet. Because
Wow.
because it'll actually murder you. And
Wow.
they're very aggressive too. They'll come after you. They actually eat the body. So they're like carnivorous. They eat the people and animals and things. And so
Wow.
the authorities, they couldn't even go in to get this guy's body until like 4 days later.
And they were done.
Yeah.
So they physically probably ate him up.
A lot of it, yeah. And
You think they're going to receive justice through the court system there in Thailand? Is something going to happen to those murder hornets? Or
probably
do
not.
they just move on?
I don't know. I don't know if they got like a wasp spray for them or something where they can just like spray it down and kill these murder hornets.
They
or
just get
they
away with
leave
it.
them. I don't. Obviously, yeah. I mean, they're just wild animals. You know, that's just bugs or whatever. But
Get away with it like a Casey Anthony
but I would say,
situation.
you know what, just. I don't know, but I'm just saying that's like the 30-year-old case. I don't know why you're talking about that.
Casey Anthony, no, it's not. It's like 10 years old.
Oh my God! No, it's not, Gary. I think you're missing up. You're decades. It's not
Not that long ago.
I was like, nobody even knows what you're talking about. But yes, murder hornets. I would say, I don't like that. But the beach is beautiful.
Beautiful.
You know, very beautiful.
What do you love about the Thailand beaches? Tell the good people out there.
Oh, it's just clean and relaxing. It just depends what beach you go to, but it's just they're just beautiful. You know, sometimes they film movies out there and stuff. You know, because the rock
That's right. They're
formation.
filming that TV show there in Koh Samui.
I don't know.
That one TV show. It's kind of a big deal right now. I forget what it's called.
Oh, I don't. Oh, no. Yeah, they did the White Lotus there.
That's
that was,
right.
No, they filmed that a while ago.
That's
Again,
done now.
Your time frame is just really off.
You know what it is? It's all the ketamine I've been doing lately, you know, because Elon Musk says it's good for you.
I don't think that you should be listening to that. And that's talking about micro-dosing, not the dosing you're doing.
Yeah, I know. It's just I party with the young kids in the clubs, you know.
Nobody's partying with Gary, trust me.
I do.
The young kids in the club.
I do.
This is why he has such a problem with me saying this thing about 19-year-old Thai bar girls.
Well, that's the thing. I party with the 1920s all the time.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm from the 1920s. Now I'm partying with the 1920s.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know?
Anyway.
They're fun people. It's all good time.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You don't even know what they're talking about with the Riz and the this and the that and all.
Oh, I know what Riz and Delulu's all about.
Oh, sure.
I do.
Anyway, Grandpa Gary has a lot of fun times ahead of him with the teenagers of America.
I do. You know, one day you should interview me and I'll tell the people all about it.
Sure.
What it's like to party with Generation Alpha.
I don't even know what that is.
That's the latest generation. They're called Generation Alpha.
I see. Okay.
Now, in your opinion, before you go, because I know you're eager to lose some pounds.
I got to get out of here. I got to get to the gym.
But you're looking really good. You're looking tight for, you know, going on a long vacation, eating a lot of carbs all week long. You're looking good, you know. But before you go, tell the people, in your opinion, what do you think the main difference is between... What is your generation? The millennials?
No, Gen X.
You're Gen X. So what's the difference between Gen X and Gen Alpha? What do you think the big difference is between those two?
Oh, man, there's a lot of differences. But the first thing and the most important thing... Well, you know what? Gen X's are tough. We're fucking tough. You know, we bullied each other like kids do.
That's true.
We grew out of it. We got tougher. We got stronger. If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. This Gen Alpha, you can't say one thing to them. You can't do nothing. You can't even look at them wrong. It's bullying. It's like you guys don't even know what bullies are. Did anybody pull your underpants over your head and stuff you in a locker? No, they didn't. You probably go to prison nowadays for that.
This is like internet bullying where people have to go see therapy because they saw words on a screen.
Well, I'm not going to say that words don't hurt because they can hurt, but at the same time, you know what? Log off, okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to be online constantly checking what people are saying and doing.
No, you don't have to look at it.
You don't have to look at it.
That's the weird thing. People keep looking at it and then like, ow, I'm hurt. I need a therapist.
It's all kind of ridiculous, you know, but this is like the most namby-pamby young generation I've ever seen.
Now that's a term I haven't heard in 30 years. Namby-pamby.
You sure it hasn't been 5 years?
Could have been 50 years.
Whatever.
It's been a long time. It's an old,
some weak-ass
old
kids out there now, okay?
That's
true. They can't take nothing. You can't even give them instructions because it's like bullying and you're like demanding and you know, whatever. They can't have bosses. These kids don't want to work. We used to work even when you're sick. You have the flu, you got a fever of 105 and you're sweating bullets, you still go to fucking work, right?
That's true. I remember that.
Yeah, you go to work. You never call in sick. You call in sick more than 2 or 3 times, you probably get laid off. Nowadays, you call in, you get the slightest little sniffle. You know, it's just a whole different world. These kids, they really don't know how to tough it out. They got no grit. They got no toughness. You know, that's what I think. The biggest difference is they're going to be these, you know, kind of spoiled, entitled, young, lazy, you know, people where we grew up the opposite way, where it was like hard work pays off.
That's
you know,
true.
You start working young. I had a paper route when I was a kid, you know.
I did too. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember I had to climb uphill in the snow on the way to school, and I had to go uphill both ways, coming and going.
Oh, yeah, uphill.
Figure that one out.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, you do, and then you go back down, but Yeah, I mean, I had a paper route with my brothers, and we worked hard. We knew a guy with a bunny farm. We had to clean out these rabbit cages and stuff. It was horrible,
So you're saying you
horrible.
grew up super tough.
I grew up tough,
You're a tough girl.
Obviously you have to grow up tough, and if you're out on the East Coast with all the weather and everything, it kind of makes you tough anyways. Now out here it's all sunny and beautiful, and everybody's, they're tough parents, but they're babying the children. So now these children are turning out, like I said, namby-pambies.
Why are these parents that are so tough? Why are they babying the kids so much? I don't
You know
get it.
what? I think they'll think, okay, well, we had it a little bit hard. I'm going to have it a little easier for my kids. And yes, I get that. Make it a little easier for your kids. But at the same time, if you make it too easy for your kids, now they're just weak. It's going to be a weak generation. That's how I feel
That's
about
what's
it.
going to happen to Gen Alpha.
I think so.
So, in conclusion, before we end this, where do you think it goes from here? Does the Gen Alpha start to raise really tough kids again? When does the cycle begin where it turns back around to where people are real tough again?
Honestly, I don't know. I
Or
mean,
does it just keep going in one direction?
Tony Robbins, he has a whole thing about this, about, tough kids, and then if you have an easy life, if you have a hard life, you make it easy for your kids, and then they have an easy life, and then it's harder for I don't know, I can't remember.
I know what you're
You know what
talking
I'm
about.
talking about?
There's that cycle.
That's a sort of cycle. Like,
Yeah.
well, this could be the case, but then on the other hand, these kids that really aren't messing around with each other. They got AI, robots, internet porn, stuff like this. They're not even interested in each other. They're just playing like these online games with each other.
People aren't having sexuals anymore with each other.
No, there's going to be a lot less kids, I think.
There's a lot of population dropping going on.
So I think the population's going to drop because the kids aren't even interested. They're not even interested in interacting with each other anymore. I mean, we had problems with like teenage pregnancy in our day. Now it's going to be like, I'm 35, I got no kids. I'm a 40-year-old virgin. Whatever.
Never had a date.
Yeah, so
it's gonna get weird.
I think it's gonna get weird a little bit. I feel like this is kind of we're on the verge of this kind of whole new shift in things, and less kids. And if they do have kids, I mean they're so entitled and weak. I feel like these kids, they're gonna just kind of grow up on their own. They're not gonna
just kind of blow over in the wind and die by accident.
It could be. I don't know.
That's when the mankind goes extinct, right there in that next generation.
It makes me worried. They don't want to work anymore. They just want to stay home, live with the parents and stuff like that.
Maybe you should work on a new play, Rosie Goes to Extinction Town, where there's no more people.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever get to that, Plus, you got older people like myself on the second and third marriage having more kids. So,
That's true.
There's that, too. But hopefully they're not going to spoil them as much as they spoiled this
You got
generation.
older people that are going to get more kids going. Maybe there's a second chance around.
Maybe. You never know.
Well, on that note, Rosie got a little extra deep today. I hope you people enjoyed it. It's been a while since she's been here. And, hey, if you liked what you heard, like and subscribe and share this mother out.